Hi everybody, this is Just Some Guy and let's talk about Mark Waid. Again. He went back to Twitter for some reason. He left it a while ago, but recently decided to log back in again. Whatever. I really couldn't care less about the man and his social justice rants. I just don't have the time for that. Your job is to write comic books, not peddle propaganda. I don't follow him on Twitter or Facebook. People let me know he was back and my reply was, I don't have the patience for his bullshit. And it's true. I'm happy to ignore him because he really does come off as a creepy, hateful bigot. I don't make him do that. He does that on his own. I lost all respect for him after the way he treated Allison Tiemann of the Honey Badger Brigade. A couple of years ago, Allison was banned from the Calgary Expo because she dared to challenge feminists on a Women in Comics panel. One of the panelists threw out a snarky anti-men's rights question and Allison asked for permission to answer the question. They gave her permission, and she told the panel what she thought. They had a calm conversation for about 15 minutes. Then the panelist said it was time to move on, and Allison shut the fuck up. The next day, literally minutes after she and the Badgers had set up their booth, armed security guards came to escort them out of the convention and told Allison she was banned for life from all cons run by the Expo proprietor. Why? Because the woman she spoke with is friends with the woman who runs the Mary Sue website. That website posted a hit piece on Allison and the Badgers and then tweeted that to the Calgary Expo Twitter page. The article was full of misinformation and lies, but instead of talking with the Badgers, the Expo booted them out. Allison is suing the Expo and the Mary Sue and has a good chance of winning or getting a really good settlement. Unknown to the Expo, the Mary Sue, or the panelists, Allison recorded the entire panel and put the audio online when she got booted out. You can listen to the whole thing in context. That is, if you had a lick of honesty. If you're Mark Waid, you just take to Twitter and bash a female comic book creator without knowing the facts. He did that for 2 days, based only on the Mary Sue article, being the snarkiest little bitch you could imagine. When Allison confronted him, he treated her like garbage and had the nerve to cop an attitude when she was snarky to him. This is the type of man Mark Waid is. He says he's all about protecting female creators, but has no problem attacking a female creator who dare to disagree with the feminist narrative. I have zero respect for people who act like that. Until he issues a public apology to Allison for how shitty he treated her, I will never have anything more than the basest level of respect for Mark Waid, which is to say I respect that he is a living thing. Outside of that, I couldn't care less about him. But he's more than just that. He's also very self-righteous and full of fake humility. I really can't stand the holier-than-thou art attitude, and I hate it even more when it's wrapped up in a I've got flaws too bow. Bags of fertilizer aren't that full of shit, but Mark Waid is. He took to Twitter to write what he called What I Keep Forgetting About Twitter, or an apology to actual fans. Hold on, Mark. I thought there was no such thing as fake fans. But now there are, but only when they don't agree with your politics?
Every once in a while, I'll call out haters with a known history of harassment towards non-white straight males.
No, you don't. What you do is target people who say things you don't like. You're trying to sound like a protector, but how much do you want to bet that if any of your so-called fans went after Barron Trump or fawned all over Finn Wolfhard, you wouldn't say a damn thing? Oh, they're just attacking an 11-year-old and sexualizing a 14-year-old boy. What's the big deal? You're not the hero, Mark. You're the villain. Worse, you're the villain who doesn't know he's the villain. You're the very thing you hate, but you're too self-righteous to realize it.
But when I say known, I tend to forget that, luckily for them, just because they have YouTube channels or whatever, that doesn't mean everyone is aware of their toxicity and bullying behaviors. Assuming that they do is a horrible mistake on my part. As to those not in the know, I come off as a bully myself.
That's because you are the bully, Mark. Bullying doesn't suddenly become okay because people hate the person you're targeting. It's still bullying, the same way that it's still racist to target white people because of their race, and it's still sexist to target men for their sex. It doesn't magically change because you think you're doing the right thing. That actually makes it worse. It means you're not even thinking about your own actions and how you'd feel if someone did those things to you. All you care about is a self-righteous revenge.
A big part of their success, which I overlook, is that some of these guys frame themselves as, gee golly, all we're doing is critiquing your work, rather than the more accurate, but we also champion serious harassment campaigns towards non-cis creators either off the clock or in dog whistles at mission.
Show me the video where someone said go harass this person. If this is so common, you shouldn't have a problem doing that. Show me the video where this happens, Mark, and I'll call the person out. This whole Twitter rant is about Kevin Cummings. I've watched most of his videos for the last 6 months. He hasn't done anything like that. So if you're gonna lie, tell a believable lie. Or is this really about diversity in comics? The only person I know he waged a campaign against was Aubrey Sitterson for Sitterson's dumbass 9/11 comment. He said plenty of times that Magdalene Visaggio has mental health issues and shouldn't have been hired to work for DC Comics and IDW, but he's never told anyone to do anything to this person or to contact the companies Mags works for. So where's the serious harassment campaigns, Mark? Or are you talking about them criticizing people's online behavior? You mean like what you're doing, where you're calling people names and poisoning the well and cycling through ad hominems? That? You don't think it's weird that it's fine for you to do this, but it's wrong if they do it?
I don't know any comic pros who are not aware that criticism of the work comes with the job.
Nick Spencer, Mags Visaggio, Kwanzaa Umfufu, Dan Slott, Ron Mars, Tess Fowler. Should I keep going or should I just read from your followers list?
Everyone I know works to accept that, listens to what makes sense to them, and ignores the crap that has nothing to do with the work and its personal attack.
Really? Kwanzaa got pissy with me last week over my review of his comic. This went on for about 2 days before he admitted he'd never even watched the reviews. He accused me of personally attacking him and not giving constructive criticism, and he hadn't even watched the review. And even when someone does watch a review, like Dan Slott watching Doug Ernst's videos, they're so sensitive that they take to social media to attack the critic, after blocking them, of course. Don't give me this bullshit about people you know being able to take criticism when you're bitching on Twitter that the criticism isn't really criticism because you don't like what the person said.
Do we fumble sometimes? Yeah, we're human, but we know we should rise above. This to say that we're/I'm hardly spotless.
Oh. With the fucking fake humility. You're about as humble as a smoking hot whore in an all-boy high school. Get the fuck out of here. You're right, your ass is hardly spotless. You look like a goddamn Rorschach test.
But where I keep falling down is that I stumble right into the trap of some of these racist bigots put down. I call them out when they show themselves. I warn other fans of their harassing ways, and all without remembering that even then, I'm punching down because of who I am.
This is how we can tell your humility is 100% bullshit. Dude, you write fucking comic books. There's barely enough people who know who you are to win a district in Rhode Island. I hate to break it to you, but you're nobody, just like the rest of us. You will live, you will die, and no one will remember you even fucking existed. Get over yourself.
And when I see harassing bigots, racist, misogynists online, I lose sight of that.
Look, up there in the sky. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's the virtue signal. And lo, on that building, I see him and his cock cage, the White Knight. Here he comes to wreck the day.
I will be more mindful, but I might also come to the point soon at which I will finally admit that Twitter is not for me.
Let me ask you a question, Mark. Do you not know how Twitter works? You don't just see tweets from random people in your feed. You have to follow them or go to their Twitter page. So if you don't want to deal with these so-called bigots, don't follow them. No one's making you respond. You choose to respond.
We'll see. In the meantime, if I led you to believe that I'm picking on specific fans who aren't fans, I apologize. That sort of behavior is unbecoming despite the justification that hate mongers really need to be taken down a peg or two.
You know, that's exactly what the white racists say when they get arrested for beating up so-called black thugs. You hear the same thing from the guys from the Middle East when they torture some woman for the way she dresses. Priests say the same thing when they get caught raping little boys. That's quite the company you're keeping, Mark. Now just keep in mind, Mark is saying he's the good guy. He's the humble servant of the people with nothing but good intentions, and he would never do the things those so-called fake fans do, until right now.
The problem with shedding light on racist, bigoted roaches is that the instant the switch is flipped, Like roaches, they all skitter away at blinding speed to their hiding places. There's no stamping them out.
So we're roaches now. Right.
All I can ask you, if I've built up any good faith with you over the years, is to consider that the off-the-grid harassment, death threats they engender is something no one wants.
Any good faith I had for you went away with that previous statement.
I know it's very easy to dismiss everything I said here as snowflake talk, which is your right.
That's because it is snowflake talk. I don't care whether you believe the bullshit coming out of your mouth any more than I care whether some Christian believes that homosexuality is a sin. What you say and do is hateful, bigoted, and fucking retarded, and I'm gonna call you out on it every time you do it. And I don't give a good goddamn whether you like it.
It's also very frank to admit that sometimes we the pros come off as aggressive ourselves, something we're all working to tamp down, and that's not good. Therefore, what looks like an obvious demo of good SJWs against racist bigots, etc., looks to you like a damn circus.
You know, if you really want to come across as a better man, then you should stop insulting people while you're pretending to be humble. You keep calling people racist and bigots, but you haven't shown a single example of anybody doing anything racist or bigoted. It's almost like you're making it up.
The crime there is that we play right into their hands. Some of these harassers have crowdfunding programs that run on hate, that stoke this concept of pros hate poor, helpless fans, so that they can keep getting donations, clicks, whatever.
Name them, Mark. Stop being coy. Name the people with the crowdfunded hate program so we can go and shut them down. I'm sure it's right on the front page of their campaign, so all you have to do is send the link and boom, we can take it down. Oh, that's right. No one's actually doing that, are they, Mark? They have Patreon accounts to fund their indie comics or to buy comics to review. That's what they have. So you're lying, and you're doing it badly. How is a writer this bad at lying? It's literally your job to lie. You should be better at this.
That's tragically cynical.
Says the man who keeps framing himself as the protector of the weak, who's also the helpless victim of evil harassers.
These wannabe Alex Joneses draw you into a curious crowd, rile you up with false rhetoric in order to monetize your anger, and encourage you to hate more so they can make more money off you.
Thank you for sharing your business model. Unfortunately, it looks like that model doesn't work, which is why most of your book orders barely scratch 30K. Maybe if you went for the less douchey approach, you might sell more books.
I genuinely believe my fans, not the guys who pop up to tell me I'm ruining comics because I promote diversity, don't want their feelings monetized by someone else.
Your self-righteous attitude and fake humility shows you for exactly what you are. You're a bully, and you're the worst kind of bully. Cowardly. You hide behind your pseudo-fame like this makes you somebody. You act like you're the law when you're probably 2 texts from being arrested your goddamn self. You're a coward who uses social media to pick on people you don't like, and then you run back to your echo chamber when someone dares to hit you back. You sit there and you trash this community that has not once, turned me away for being black. You sit there and you call these people racist? Of all the outlandish shit people have posted in my channel comments, I can count on one hand the number of insults directed at me because of my race. How dare you? Who do you think you're protecting? You think you're fighting the good fight? No, you're a bigot. You're a racist. You're sexist. You're homophobic. You don't see any of these people as people. They're just tools for you to dangle for the social justice brownie points. You don't give a damn about black people. How many black people have you brought into the industry? How many have you given jobs? How many have you shaken hands with? All you see is what they look like. You don't see a person. You see a thing. That's all they are. All I am to you. I think Newsroom said it best. How dare you reduce me to the color of my skin? There are people who look just like me, thousands and thousands who die for the freedom to define their own lives for themselves. How dare you presume to decide what I should think is important? I am far more insulted by your high-handed implication that I need your protection. I'm not defined by my blackness, and if that doesn't fit your narrow-minded expectation of who I'm supposed to be, I don't give a damn, because I'm not defined by you either. So get this through your head, Mark. I don't need your